Hello everyone, welcome to my final projects presentation. This is me, Jorge Rivera, and I didn't have a lab partner. This is by myself. Introduction. So my main goal was to learn how to use the PyQt5 in Qt Designer to develop basic apps. My project one was about improving the shapes calculator. And my project two was to create an app for managers to enter new hire information. My project one, extending on it, it's an easy to use interface. The shapes are the buttons and the input is placed in the actual spot where it should be. And it recognizes for invalid input. Here's a demonstration. I have it here in an executable file. You press click, okay, and it lets you choose between area and perimeter. If you click area, you can choose between all of them. And let's just say triangle, for example, you put the height on the base and submit. And it tells you the area. If you don't put a value, it's going to tell you invalid characters. If you put a -8, invalid characters. If you put a letter, it's going to say invalid characters. It's going to function the same way for the rest of them. But then if you press perimeter and you open triangle, triangle is the only one that's slightly different because of how the formula for perimeter requires the sides. So instead of the base and height, it just has 3 sides. So you enter the 3 sides, and it gives you a perimeter. Yeah, that's pretty much that for that app. Okay. What I learned how to edit colors and use fonts in Qt Designer. It was kind of tricky at first because in order to make that gradient and background colors is a whole thing in settings for Qt Designer. But watching some YouTube videos, I will learn how to do that. Also made how to make pop-up windows so they wouldn't close the window prior to that by creating multiple widgets. And I also learned how to use PyInstaller to create Python files to executable files. For my second project, it was a new hire information app. So let's just say managers could enter all of the information of a new employer into. It uses a very basic username and password type of app in order to enter all of the information. And the information itself, there's some that is required and some that is not, like middle name, for example. So if you leave blank, one of the information that is required is gonna say, like, hey, this information is required. And also the social security number cannot be repeated. So you cannot put new information if the social security number is the same as someone's before. And it stores the information in a CSV file. Yep, so here's a demonstration of that app. You open it, you put, I don't know, this, it's gonna tell you password or ID incorrect. The correct ID is UNL and the password is Omaha dot 402 exclamation. You press enter, okay, and let's just say you put nothing in here. Or actually, let me add some things. Let's say Jesus. Middle name, nothing. Last name, Romero. But you're gonna leave the social security number empty. In this case, department, grocery, manager, salary, and I don't know, 80. Okay, it's gonna tell you this for all of this information is required, and the one that we left empty is a social security number. In this case, I'm gonna put 1111111. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna put 1234 121234. Okay, I'm gonna press submit, and it's gonna ask you want to confirm, and it's asking you to double check. And then if you press go back, it's just gonna go back. If you press confirm, it's gonna open a second window that's gonna say this has been saved. Would you like to continue? If you press exit, it's just gonna exit the app. But if you press new, it's gonna send you back to the login information because this app is secure. And you press enter, you go back in, and let's say I'm gonna put back my information. Okay. Now this is me, Argenis Rivera, 0119 2003. My social security number. I'm gonna put the same one as I put for Jesus. Bakery clerk. I'm hourly. I get paid 15 an hour. If I submit, it's gonna tell you the social security number is already registered. So you have to either use a different one or something like that. So I'm just gonna change it, the last number to a 0. Submit. And it's gonna let you go. Confirm, exit. And then where's all of this information going? It's going to this file right here. So when you open it, all the information is gonna be in here. Okay, so these were like what I was testing before, so ignore that. But yeah, as you can see, all of the information is here. Name, middle name, last name, date of birth, social security number, department, title, pay type, and pay amount. What I learned is, I don't know if we had already done this in a prior lab or not, but I learned how to check if a value was already existing in a column using a CSV. That's how I checked for social security number, is to check if it was already in the document, in the Excel document. And I also learned how to create a very basic username and password type of app. This is very basic, but I felt very accomplished that I was able to do that. And one of the things I learned the most was the different types of input bars that there is in PyQt5, like the drop-down bar, the single line, and select, and all of that I use in this. It's pretty nice to get to know how to use it. They're all a little tricky in order to how getting the text back from it is different from each other. But other than that, it's almost the same. But yeah, so it was pretty nice to learn it. And that's it for my presentation. Thank you so much.